Alright, are you ready to button this thing up today? Let's grab like the 13 or whatever and buzz off this bottom piece, and then I will be able to get it out of the way because that was for sure screwing me last time. Do I have the... Little man's doing good. He gained a pound this week. Almost a pound. What a beast. Alright, let's get this out of here. We'll try to reinstall that once the turbo and everything's in, because this really, wow, man, I had that in there deep. This V-band is not, this T-bolt sounds all stripped out. It's not long for this world. Alright, Brotato, let's get everything all situated here. There's my clamps, not my clamps, my brain. Let's get my brain back. Is it this guy right here, 12 mil? Yep, they were telling me there's another part number you can get that's still the 13s, but obviously the 12 does not hurt my feelings. Alright, that's set to in. Let's get the turbo. Let's drop the whole thing at once. Whoa. Again, here's the whole assembly. Shove the turbo drain down in there. Okay, cool. Manifold down. Can you see? That ain't that bad. Certainly could be worse. You just don't want to booger those first threads. Famous last words. Alright, boys? Alright, it's going. Alright, that's enough. It is windy and cold. Don't get angry with me, 12 millimeters. Don't get angry. Whoa. People are like, man, what do you do with the bigger turbo assembly? Well, it's almost easier. Bigger turbos have a V-band center section. I mean, overwhelming majority. What you do is you pull it off you pull the turbine center V-band, and you take the whole center cartridge and compressor right out and set it to the side. So you only have the weight of the turbine. And it's pretty easy to put in when there's less than half of the turbo on. And then once it's in place, you slide the center section and compressor back on. It's a nice way to do it. If you watch my videos of me doing this with the big turbo, you've probably already seen me do it. If you didn't know that, it's certainly easy. Easier than the alternative. Get this bolt going in the front. These badass 706 monsters. Alright, why won't you go? Just go. Don't you like your home? Get some of the other ones going. You'll help me out with this guy. Why is it so such a bitch. Needs some engine assembly lube. W Dizzle. It's always something. It has been going pretty smoothly, got to admit. It could be a lot more trouble. Come on. Why don't you start? Why are you being a pain in the ass? You're making me look bad. I told them all this was easy. Here you are. What do I want to do? Do I want to try to murder it yet? It's out. That's in. Yeah, it must have just gone. It went right in. No drama. Right, let's get the ratchet wrench over there. I gotta get the one in front of the turbo here. Absolutely needs a ratchet wrench. I can put all the plugs and stuff in. Happy day. This one's going in by hand. Flush almost. Oh, it's gonna go all the way in. Keep going. The whole reason I did the head swap was to put coolant in the truck because it had mostly water in it. I floated it and it only was like 20 degrees, which is not good enough for this area and the weather coming up. I wanted to dump enough coolant to be able to pull the heads and top it off with straight coolant. Get the temperature where it needs to be. Alright, let's go crank on the other ones. Spark plugs, coil packs. Put the exhaust on. The crossover on. All the fancy stuff. Pull up, push down. Okay? Doing good. Oil feed line. Right back on. Excellent. Try to get this compressor pipe in. This pain in the ass. See if that T-bolt holds up. Yeah, it's got to go way in there. This is probably going to blow up. Might as well swap it now. Huh, it didn't come apart. It is very strippy. Yeah, I'll just throw that one out. Nothing but net. What's this one? 3? No, it's gotta be smaller. This is like a 2-ish. 2-ish. This? That one will work. Clamp, lighten up a little bit. There we go. Annihilate. 1 and 2. Here we go. We're good. Might as well do spark plugs. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah? I think so. Debating on where to put everything. My other ratchet. I'm always tempted to blow these in with the Sidewinder. I'm just worried I'm going to crack the plug. I don't want to have any excuses. He's easy enough to reach everything in this guy, in this truck engine bay. Now I gotta get down underneath, put the crossover, put the oil drain on. Takes like 1 second. Crossover takes a little bit to line up, because it just wants to fall out till you line it up and get the clamps in above your head and everything else. And the downpipe, and then top it off with coolant, throttle cable, fuel lines, some vacuum hoses. And everything will be perfect. Mint. Connect the battery, fire it up, get it on the dyno in the next day or two. See how the heads do. I got my 105 pounders. It used to be in the truck. I think I talked about them in the other video. I got my 105 pounders back from Eric Durr. He flow tested them. They were all within 1%, less than 1% of each other. And they all work fine. So I bought adapters because I don't want to cut up this harness because Andy did such a nice job again. I actually don't want to cut the harness, and I might just put the decaps back in once I test the 100 pounders, but so I bought, it was like 20 bucks to get the mini Delphi connector to the EV1 Bosch style, and then those are my 105 pounders ready to rock, and the data sheet to go with it. Alright, let's put the other plugs in. Not drop them all over the ground. You guys got a good view. Can you see? Oh, can you see? How about right there? Oh yeah, put the coolant temp sensor back in. As you're over here putting this first spark plug in, you realize that the coolant temp sensor is missing. Well, hopefully you realize it's missing before you start putting water in, and then it starts pouring out the side of the motor here, and you wonder what the hell you did wrong with the, put the head on crooked or something. Pretty happy with these filthy valve covers on these really nice cylinder heads. I don't know about you guys. I'm more than okay with it. $19mm to put the coolant temp sensor back in. Plug it in. Serpentine belt's already on. Rolling right along. When I get the coil packs and the throttle cable on, I should just connect the fuel line, put the intake pipe on. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. Top it off again with coolant. Keep going over my list. Yeah, I'm excited to see how much power this makes at. I should be able to get my wastegate back down to 3 pounds, and I've done dyno pulls from like 3 to 15. So I want to see what difference it makes down low, what difference it makes up top. And I want to see if it's a percentage gained, or if it's just a flat number gained. Either way, I'm sure it will make more power at less boost. But is it worth the money? That, you know, that's going to depend on you and what you're doing and your budget. I mean, if it's significant and it makes me look dumb, that's cool too. Because I always generally like, and if you have a problem with the motor, that's just one thing that cost a lot that you threw the money out on. Not necessarily threw the money out on, but when a stock cylinder head's junk, you're kind of like, oh no, there goes 50 bucks. And I have to swap my valve springs. Oh. You trash a good set of cylinder heads, you go, there goes $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000. Shit. Get this one going. This one's right next to the steering. A joke. Let's start. Can't tell. If I pull the plug out, it'll fall on the ground. Come on. Brand new clean cylinder heads. They're trouble. If they were dirty and grimy, it would be easier to do this. Fact. There we go. Yeah, they're all like a little bit touch and go, like turns, stops turning. Almost like it wants to cross thread, but it's just because they're so clean. They're not covered in 2,000 miles or 200,000 miles of total shit. And put the short extension on because I can't get my socket in there. That's that 1-inch extension on an LS motor. Really comes in handy. That plug really gets buried into the head. Swig some coffee. Oh yeah, coffee. $10 mil. Give me that. Alright, transmission. Dippy sticky out of the way. This guy. Start. Go. Perfect. Get my new plug wires. I got fan mail today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I got plug wires in the mail. I don't particularly know when I got them, but I checked my P.O. box today. And I got these guys. So I'm going to install them. Some really nice guy from the United States Air Force. He sent me these. And then he sent me a 25 millimeter shell that was fired. Hopefully those don't hit the downpipe. They're kind of long. I guess we'll see. I can always swap them out. I like having 16 different plug wires on a vehicle too. That always gets people's blood going. Oh my god, look at all this. Everything's different. No wonder it's junk. It's all non-standard. Yeah, man, I hope these aren't too long. I don't know if I can use them on my truck. I can certainly use them on a lot of other things. But these loop out pretty close to my downpipe, I believe. The other side would probably be okay. We'll see. I'll put these on the other side. If I have to, I'll put the 90s. See, the plug wires I have on, these are the ones he sent, and these are what I had on. They 90 right in, and these guys kind of shoot out pretty far, and the issue is my downpipe goes where that hoop goes. So we'll see how they do when I go to put the downpipe in. For now, I can put the coil pack in. I forgot to move the camera, my apologies. I put the coil pack rack in, you probably couldn't see any of it. Except for my dome in the way. Alright, coil pack rack. Clunk, clunk. Got this guy and this guy. Again, if you're putting more than one or two of these bolts in, that's a rookie mistake in my opinion. This side only one's going in, brake booster's too close. Forget it. Forget about it. Alright. Temperature sensor. Where are you at? Up here. 19 millimeter. It's already out. Somewhere in the wilderness. Yep, right here on the bench. 19 mil. Screw that in. Start putting everything away while I'm at it, because I'm nuts like that. That's a 15 for the oil pan, or the oil dipstick. Really strong fender over here. Coolant temp sensor, 19 millimeter. Barely tight, barely. Because it has a crush ring. If you go to smash it, it'll just bust the sensor. Snap the sensor right off like a junker. Alright, I'm plugging you in. You're plugged in. While I'm in here, let's put the alternator power wire on. My 10. Oh, here. You can use this. Yep, it fits. Here's a neat tool, guys, if you've never seen this before. I think I've shown it once or twice. I had to do something really weird the one day, and I welded one of my 12.10 millimeters to like a little steel rod for like a bottle jack or something I have. And it's a pass through, and you can put a lot of torque on it. I think I did it for brakes or something, but I use it all the time now. It's a great little tool. Get a lot of power on something. All right, let's see how these straight wires go for this side. Yeah, they're a little different than what I'm used to. There we go, she's plugged in. They're not filthy, that's the issue. Alright. So the coolant temp sensor on. Click. 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 One more. This one's a challenge. Pretty tight on the headers. Click. That stuff's good. I have a feeling that this stuff is going to give me an issue, unfortunately. So I'm going to put the 90s on. They're too close. The 90s are close, and these are much farther out. So before I have to pull the downpipe back out and everything apart, we'll shelf these beautiful things for another day. We will look at my finest junkyard 90s and use those. No heat cracks, not worn out yet. AC Delco. What a beast. Plug in the coil packs. Do the throttle cable. Hook up the fuel lines. Yeah, this is a Chevy Blazer. Literally S10 Blazer SUV. Throttle cable and pedal, because this Colorado was a drive-by-wire with the 4-cylinder. There we go. She's good to go. We got the throttle working. I just got to zip tie the throttle down. I'm going to wait till the vacuum lines are on. Got power. I'm going to leave the battery disconnected for now. Time to dunk the downpipe in. And pick it up and do the crossover underneath. Yep. I think I got everything. I got the coolant stuff plugged in. I got the coolant hoses on. Here's a neat one for you. Now that I'm looking at this, I had my V-band T-bolt clamp break. I just dropped my downpipe in too. I'll show you that too real quick. Let me. Here's a neat trick. I had this bolt break. Many of you probably have, where they get all strippy and beat up from using them multiple times. I took an eyelet bolt and I just use it. I smush the end so the eyelet goes in there, and you get a nice stainless one so it lasts a little bit longer. That's it. Nothing fancy there. I'm gonna snug this up so it can't fall out. Get the bottom on and wiggle everything, and then should be ready to rock. All we gotta do is slide under this side, get the zippy gun, Mr. Zippy Gun. It's a 10 or an 11, so I'll take both 10 and 11. I'm going to jump under there. See what I can do. What is it, a 10? It's a 10. We'll put the 11 aside. V-band's like almost connected already, luckily. Let's put this in here so it's ready to murder. Pick up the two pieces, jam them together, annihilate it with the V-bizzle. Alright, we're done. We're done with you. So that's connected. I might have to shave the edge of that off one day. It gets pretty close to my plug wire, but doesn't touch it. That's what we need the 11 for. Probably 7/16 or some weird. That one's tight. That one's tight. Doing nice work. wideband. I like to toss this back here to keep it off of the header. Plug it in right here. And I zippy all this stuff up when I'm done. What is 6 AN? 11/16, guys? Can I use like a 15? 17? I always forget. Oh, 17. So we'll get two 17 mils. Tighten up those fuel lines with. Put the fuel lines on quick. The return on the bottom first. Yep. I guess this one technically isn't an AN fitting. It's just what goes on the end of the other thing. Alright, fuel lines. Lots of other goodies already installed. Let's put the boost controller and loud valve stuff back in. Smash that on there. Oh yeah, this one needs to get cut. This one got boogered. Better rip it. Damn, I got that one in too. Got a laser beam that one in there. Alright, this is good. Pass this guy under here so it doesn't fall on the header. Plug it into the loud valve. Alright, now we've got boost actuated exhaust. Let's put a zippy tie on my turbo. Pressure outlet on my turbo. Zip tie the throttle stuff down. Alright, and then time to go underneath. So I will move the camera and do the turbo drain and the crossover pipe underneath. Alright, and all I gotta do now is put my crossover pipe in. This just goes from one side to the other, feeds the log from that side to that side, and then it goes up into the turbo, and that's about it. I have no really good way of jamming everything under there, so I'm going to put this in. Just trust me, it's under there. Okay, final stretch really here. Just a few more things to go. Gotta get the intake pipe on. Alright. Pretty good. Just gotta get my 10. Where's my 10 at? Get my 10 mil. Nut. Spread this guy out. It's on a shit bend, so I gotta work with it. Start a couple threads on you. Get you back in. Get my hook out. All right. Okay. That thing's ready to rock. Connect this. This barely fits over this. Oh, heat gun the damn thing. It's so cold. Doesn't want to go. Kids in their ball fouls. Alright, that's on there now. Battery's connected. I zippy this out of the way of the hood. My underhood light looks like it's getting low. It's flickering. I think we're good. We can key on and check for fuel leaks. It's always my first question of how well it's going. Are we rolling still? Let's see if fuel spray's all over the place. Nope, it's dry. Alright, all I gotta do, I think, is look through my spare parts here. I think I got the oil dipstick to go. I got that and nothing else, really. I think that's it. This guy, oh yeah, my light just turned itself off, didn't it? Time to charge it back up. I forgot to plug it in. Last once or twice I used it. It's been just hanging out under the hood there. Alright. Charge. Where's my bolt? This is for the dipstick. This is the dipstick. And get a little flashlight. And you guys hang out over here. Big Larry. Yeah, I should have put this in earlier, but here's where we are now. No, I see it. Dipsticks in. Bolt won't be bad. Just a 15. Crank it on there. Pardon. I need a short 15. Shit. I wanted to check for oil. And I'm like, my dipstick isn't installed. Now there's nothing else left. Dang, even have the dipstick bolt. Okay, there's nothing left other than start it. So, we start it. We see if it starts. How's that? Or is it just too cold for the first start? Smells like E. I wonder, are you super lean or what? Does it need a different tune-up now? Let's see what the wide man says. Yeah. It just goes totally lean and shuts off. So it must not have enough base fuel in it now. It fires, cranks, and then dies. Map sensor's plugged in, everything's plugged in. Yeah, it cranks and fires, it just needs a tune-up. Well, I need to add some more fuel to the base table. Because I changed all the airflow from the heads and the springs and everything else. But coil packs are plugged in, injectors are plugged in. Yep. Alright. Inlet temp. Coolant temp. Yeah, alright. Just making sure, because what happens here is when you have the computer and you can tune, you start chasing your tail why it won't start. You screw up your tune, then you find something you did wrong. Fix it anyway. So, I'll go grab my laptop. Now that it's started, throw a bunch in the base and we'll go running from there.